Rolls. Ah. Where's that picture gone? There it is. That might as well be a leotard, isn't it? Oh my god, I keep losing that picture, you bitch. Bring it back. Ah. There it is. Orion Wells. You say that all the time, Orson Welles. No, not Orson Welles. It's uncanny how close it looks like. The first George in the Jungle. You think it looks like... oh, it does a little bit. I know Brandon Fraser, two first names. No, not Brendan Fraser. George of the Jungle. Nobody got it. I can't believe you didn't get it. Leonardo DiCaprio. Johnny Weissmuller walking. There's a nice one. That's game over with your chimpanzee. There's another one in line. Johnny Weissmuller right there. Inline footfall from Flamingo. And again right there. Jane's got the big headlock. Was that actually him up there? I thought that was women. We'll come back. Where was that picture gone? Yeah, but where's that picture? I saw it just a minute ago. Oh, there it is. When's the last time you stood like that, Peter? Never! It's right, Marv, because I'm a bloke. Johnny Weissmuller. Let's go to Twitter real quick. We should have Johnny Weissmuller in the back. We do. There's two gates, and I've shown you them both. Johnny Weissmuller. There you go. Failing forensics. Tarzan of the Jungle was actually Jane in disguise. Paste. Johnny Weissmuller. I was playing CSI with me. Let's close that window. Johnny Weissmuller. Oscar Pistorius. Apparently, is this the one that shot his girlfriend through the door? Where are we? A South African double amputee, murderer, blah, 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 Paralympic Games, Pistorius, non-disabled sprint. Did it... Paralympic attempted to enter non-disabled competitions. He identifies as having legs, does he? Right. So apparently, he thought his girlfriend was a burglar. And he shot her through the door. Shot him through the door. The boyfriend. The boyfriend, I'd just like to point out, chin to tie ratios. Look at the state of that. I'm going to let Marlo back in. Them jelly tots are gorgeous. Of munchkins. Come on, Em. beat it. There we go. So, Oscar Pistorius has got Toblerone shaped shoulders, look. You know how you get two different types of coat hanger? One's designed for male shoulder line, and one's designed for female. I never realised until I saw my nana's. My nana used to have like quilted coat hangers in a different shape. Where are we? So when I was growing up, these were the common ones that we saw, right? Oh, I don't want to go there. Don't do that. Why do that? That one. That's more of a modern one. But like that shape. Yeah, like that. That's what we used to seeing, right? This shape coat hanger. The male shape coat hanger. And then there was Nana's. Nana's didn't look like ours. Nana's had bowed shoulders to go into that shape there. Right. Oscar Pistorius. 5 head, widest in the hairline look. Open, arching eyebrows, open eye sockets, tiny ears. She's had the Cupid's bow fixed. She's still got a pink lip, but that's been fixed up as well. Look at that surgery line. She's got no chin, no neck, no trachea, no Adam's apple. And you're like, but how can you put the gait onto someone who's missing from the shin down, from the knee down? They're missing the limbs, the feet and the limbs. It's quite simple. The Q line doesn't start in the knees, it starts in the hip. Well, just below the hip line. Right into below the crotch is where the Q line sits. Because that's where a baby pops out of. So a woman is widest just below the crotch because she passes babies through the crotch. And even if you take off the bottom section of a woman's legs, even if you take that off, you'll still see the Q line. The first time I did this, me and Horatio died laughing because we could instantly see it. We could instantly see it was a woman. And you're like, how can you tell that's a woman? The knee and, well, if it had a foot, it'd be out at 4 o'clock. Now it's 8 o'clock. And so is that one. Even without the feet. Forensics people can still tell by the diamond created that Oscar Pistorius is actually a woman in disguise. So why should I believe anything about the case? Why would I believe anything? That's inline footfall lot. Why would I believe, and there lot, why would I believe anything about what they're telling me about him shooting his girlfriend, who's actually his boyfriend, because he's a she and she's a he? They lie about everything. Is this before he lost his legs? Oscar Pistorius, full mince right there. Whoever this is, with the arms akimbo, the shoulder tilt and the hip twist, and the diamond showing, same here. They're women. That's a big tall woman. And Oscar Pistorius is also a woman. Look at this mince. The shoulder tilt, the hip twist. It's all of them. There are no exceptions to this rule. That's how they control the world. They control the media, they control the schools, they control the hospitals, they control the governments, they control the armies, they control everything. But it's all a false control, Because once the people recognise that these people are not here to do anything good for the people of this world, the power will shift, right? It's biblical. I'm living through biblical times. And again, you can try and tell me that the book was written by them. I know it was written by them. It wasn't written by them. It was translated by them. I have enough of a gut instinct internally that would tell me that my ancestors, who were loving, caring people, yours too, would have written down in a book how we got here. The things we should do whilst we're here. The things we shouldn't do whilst we're here. They would have recorded these things for us. Oscar Pistorius is biologically female, proven by the way she walks, with or without legs. Shoulder tilt, diamond showing, full mints on the prison guard, from Flamingo on this prison guard. From Flamingo on Oscar Pistorius, she cannot help but separate her knees outwards and swing it round. Look at the state. Is that AI? That's not even AI. Look at this. This is what I saw. I wasn't looking at them. I was looking at this woman here. Look at the state of her. Arm akimbo. Shoulder tilted. Look at that letter Y that forms there. Because she is a woman. She is also a woman. The barrister, the QC at the Oscar Pistorius case is a woman. Whoever his assistant is here, the one with the boobs, well, that's a man. Straight legs, knees together, feet punching forward. This little lady in the back, I can't even see her legs, but I know it's a woman just by her stature. Oscar Pistorius is a liar and a deceiver. A boyfriend, whoever he is, didn't die by getting shot through the door. None of this happens. It's all bollocks. Even if they show you autopsy pictures, you can't believe that it's real, right? Even if they've done a real good job on it, you still got to have that thought, is this real or not? Because the whole story's a lie. If the whole story's a lie, how can the autopsy pictures be real? It makes no sense to me. And where I find no sense, nonsense, I find nonsense. I find nonsense and Satanists. If they actually do any of what they say to children, God's got a special place for them in hell. But I just have this feeling that what they actually do is this. This is how they offer up their children to Satan, like this. They don't do all the stories that they tell you about the adrenochrome. I don't believe in none of it. I don't believe that the loving Heavenly Father in heaven would leave a chemical inside a child for them to drink and absorb. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Which is what they say they do. Again, we've entered La La Land, conspiracy land, right? Because none of that can be proven. They said they walked on the moon, they didn't. So when they say they've got adrenochrome, how do I know they haven't? I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in 99.9% of what they tell me. All my life I've had a small fraction of the truth sat in front of me and never noticed it. Every time it presented itself, I never saw it. Whether it had been the fact that the earth's not spinning, water's level, or that God is real. I never saw any of the clues. Because I was distracted. I was flying on autopilot, if you like. And that's what these people depend on you doing. You being on autopilot and not asking questions. See, the first thing that happens when you come off autopilot is you start asking questions. If the sun is 93 million miles away, you're telling me I can see 93 million miles away? And if their answer is yes, then they're idiots. Because you can't see down the end of the road if you're lucky. You definitely can't see the next town over. These people flood the papers and the news with propaganda. Just like Ronnie got a lift home from baseball with a sick guy who turned out to be a homosexual. It's all fear and propaganda that they put before us. And if you don't believe me, just look back a few years where you was all wearing nappies on your faces. I'm telling you now, it didn't happen. One time I put a nappy on in a doctor's office because I had to see the doctor, and I still didn't have it on properly. I had my nose poking out and I was breathing through my nose. I wasn't using it anywhere like they wanted me to because I didn't give a rat's. It's just the other people around me and the doctors were all freaking out, and it annoys the crap out of me. I won't be able to see my doctor otherwise. And that's what they're forcing right now, right, with the digital IDs, and they're forcing you that at any point they can... Thing is, with digital ID and all the rest of it, they can turn everything off, right? All your rights, everything you're allowed to access now, they can just... If they don't like you, they can just turn it off. It's control, it's manipulation. I don't know what's wrong with the world. I can only put it down to whatever's in the water. Whatever they dose everyone up with. It doesn't seem to work with us though, right? But most people are docile. And you can put it down to fluoride or whatever. I just think it's life in general that we fail at. We just fail at it every day because of these freaks. Because of the lies they've told us, because of where they've left us all mentally. And they laugh, they laugh and they mock as they go along. They put it in the names. They tell you in the names. They tell you in the stories. I just don't care anymore. I really don't. It's the long and narrow road. That's the only thing I can put it down to. Is I've got my eyes focused on God, nothing else. I don't care for any of the stories that they bring out. I don't care for any of the idols or who got killed in a car crash or a plane crash or whatever it is. Whatever their cockamamie story is, I just don't care anymore. And maybe that's what the falling away is in the Bible, that all the things that you once held proud and tight, they fall away. I'm no longer into boxing and MMA like I used to be. I don't care about the magicians in this world that I used to follow religiously to learn a new magic, to learn another way of fooling someone. And don't get me wrong, I love magic, the proper, entertainment magic, not black magic as they call it, this voodoo shit that they're doing to us. It's subliminal, that's the problem. What they've done is subliminal. The magic trick before your very eyes is a subliminal one. They told you that the earth's round, even though you know water's level. It's a subliminal magic trick. That your brain, no matter how many times someone who loves you tells you, the world's flat, you're not spinning, you don't listen. You don't listen, and it's not because you're not smart, it's because you don't care. You don't care if you've been lied to all your life. You don't care if the earth is a ball. You don't care if Oscar Pistorius is a woman. You don't care if your favourite football team are all women. You'll still support them. Day in, day out, sing the names. All the way up until you meet God. And you see him in all his almighty power and glory. And he says, why did you never sing my name? Why did you never champion me like you do the Champions League? I created you. I created all these things in this world. I invented everything. There's nothing new under the sun, is what he's going to tell you. And that is where the great gnashing and wailing is going to happen. When people realise what they gave up, what they did in this world. How many times someone who loved them tried to tell them. To a point where they didn't want to hear it anymore. They can't even stand the sound of our voices. Because it's the truth. They cannot stand the truth. In acknowledgement of the truth, you then have to rectify yourself, right? You have to rectify the things you've done wrong. You have to ask in repentance to God. Please forgive me, for I knew not what I did. Just the way Jesus said. And before you start telling me Jesus is the devil, I don't listen to any of it. Jesus doesn't talk like the devil. Jesus told no lies. There are things in the Bible that I disagree with that he said. I totally do. Jesus said use a usury. No, he didn't. Jesus whipped the usuries. Whipped them, turned their tables. Get out of my Father's house, he said. In the temple of God. Jesus said, give Caesar what is Caesar's. Well, it's the fucking middle... Oh, excuse my language. It's the middle finger. Innit? Jesus pulled a coin out of a fish's mouth so someone could pay taxes. Okay, so he did a good deed for this guy. But what he should have told that guy is, Caesar's a piece of shit and you don't give him anything. Caesar's going to use that money to traffic children. Or whatever he does with it. Give to Satan what is Satan's. The middle finger. Satan made me do a lot of things in my life I would never have done had I known God was watching me. The way I feel about it now. And I'd love to say, oh, I'm proud, but pride comes before the fall, and pride is what these people are about. I'm not proud of anything I've done down here, nothing at all. No, maybe a ratio. Forgot about Rage. Maybe I'm proud of a ratio, Father, my son, and the way he turned out. Not like the rest. He knows you're real, God, Father. He knows that God exists. He knows that the Father in heaven is real. He knows after this life, he's going to meet him. And that glory inside of him, knowing that God's real, changes a person. I wish I'd had it at his age. I wish I'd known from the age of 7 that the world was flat and that the Queen of England was a man. I wish I'd known these things. But I know now. And he gave me enough time to change these things. The mistakes I've made, the sins I've committed on earth are all dispelled. They're washed away by the blood of Jesus Christ. In faith. I don't really care for what other people's opinions are. I only care what God thinks of me now. And I'm sure you're the same, right? That's why no matter how many people say you're crazy for the flat earth stuff, you know you're right. It doesn't matter. It just washes away, right? Well, you should wash away. You should be calm now. You should... In accepting the truth, what's the 5 stages? You get angry, you resent it, you accept it. Well, that's where we're at. We've passed all these stages in each of our rabbit holes, and we came to this, I don't know, it's a serene place, right? It's a very calm place once you know God exists. All the chaos in the world that they create for others to believe in, you don't see it do you? You don't even listen to it. You don't even hear it anymore. When all around you are losing their heads and you can keep your calm, well, that's a heavenly grace, isn't it? It's a heavenly grace knowing that God wanted you to know these things. He wanted you to change. And I know it breaks your heart that your friends and family can't change. But that's them. It's not you. He wanted you to change. And you want them to change. I agree. I want them to change as well. I want all of your family to change. Their opinions and their emotions and the feelings. I want them all to change. But they've got to do it for themselves the way you did. The way that you and I saw the kingdom. And it's a beautiful place when you see it. Even in all of this hatred and vileness and these lies, there's still love, there's still trust, there's still good people in this world. And that's the ability that he gave us to be able to change. We can change this world. We just don't care. Well, not me and you, but those around us don't care. And it's the lack of the kingdom. Not the lack of it, but the ability not to be able to see it is what leaves them stuck. The NPCs, as they call them, right? I don't think they're non-player characters. I think these people are non-player characters. They can't go off the script. They have to. These are the NPCs. These people, the people in real life. Well, there are these NPCs in real life as well. But most of the people you meet are just like me and you. They've got the ability to change their mind, and that's what we want to do, right? We want to change their opinion of what shape the earth is, or whether they're descended from monkeys. You see, when we learnt this, the people just gave us the information. They didn't try to change us. They just let it sink in, and we changed ourselves. We changed ourselves. You do not need to believe in God to be a good person. Oh, I agree. But you're not going into heaven without any faith. You have no faith, Sophia. Correct? To trust in God without knowing He's there, that's your problem that you're having, right, Sophia? That you believe you are God, probably, right? And in some respects, we all are part of God, but we're not God. I think the ability spiritually to communicate with Him has been lost the way we used to in the beginning. And it's a lack of faith. It's a lack of faith. I've had things happen to me that I cannot explain since this began. Only since this began. I've had a few things in the past. I could not put it down to a miracle the way I can since I was awakened to the truth. I've got many different miracles that have happened to me, and only me and God know about them. Because it was between me and Him. Only God can listen to my thoughts and my prayers when I ask for them. Only He can answer those thoughts and prayers just through thinking them. The devil can't do that. These people can't do that. They wish they could read our minds. What do you think all this transhumanism with the microchips is for? So that they can control you. You don't even have your own thoughts anymore. Like, oh, I can download Google. Well, if you can download Google, then Google can upload you. Can't it? It's like a radio frequency. It goes both ways, like a walkie-talkie. Like, I've got a radio, it listens. Yeah, but it can also transmit backwards so they can listen to you. That's the power of God, right? That's where God overrules everything in this world and everyone in it. None of us are higher than God. None of us are really worthy of His mercy or His love the way we are, and we're given it. We've all been bad people. I don't believe that a single good person exists in this world. I don't believe it. No matter how good you are in life and how kind-natured you are, you have sinned. You have messed up. And I'm sure there's someone out there now going, oh, no, I've lived a perfect life. I believe God, no, blah, 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 blah. You believe in space. You believe you're descended from monkeys. You believe in dinosaurs. You believe all of Satan's lies other than what God told you. He told you that the devil deceiveth the whole world. Every single one of us. The power that God has is infinite. His love is infinite. That's the only reason I think this still continues, is that people keep getting to his gates and they're like, I didn't realise, I'm an idiot, send me back, please send me back, Father, give me another go, wipe me memory, send me back as a baby, let me try and find you again. That's the only reason I can imagine any of this continues, is that people keep begging him when they get up there. I didn't see it. I didn't see the lie, Father. Well, we do. And if I'm a bell ringer, I'm a bell ringer. If I'm a town crier, I'm a town crier. And none of the crazy names or anything bother me. It doesn't. Because I'm grounded. I'm earthed to God. He created me from the earth, from the dust. He breathed life through my nostrils. He put the spirit of himself inside of me. I'm created in his image. The spirit of God moved across the face of the waters. That means I am a spirit. I am something other than this body I'm living in. Able to think, feel, and interact with everything and on every level that God created in this world. And you want me to believe I'm insignificant, and I'm a speck of dust floating around on another speck of dust in an infinite universe that never ends. Well, all of this is going to end because God's, for some reason, he's had enough. And I don't blame him. And you, I've had enough. What keywords do you disable because all of my comments have been removed? I've got no idea. I don't disable anything. The powers that be control the diagonal, your vertical and your horizontal. They control the comments in chat. In this living world that God created, you have been deceived on an unholy level. And people want to tell me that God doesn't exist all the time, Sophia. And I know he does. I don't even believe in God. I know God exists. None of this is possible without a creator. And if you even try and say aliens to me, you're in the wrong chat. Space don't exist. Aliens don't exist. If there are aliens, they're demons and they live below us. And one day the gates of hell are going to open up and you're going to see them. And there'll be great gnashing and wailing in people's hearts as they realise that God is real and that hell was below them. Imagine there's no heaven. I did. Imagine there's no hell below us. I did. But now I don't imagine. I can see them. I know they exist. I'm on Middle Earth, like they told me. I live on Middle Earth, and above me is God, and below me is Satan. But I was created in God's image. Satan wasn't. Satan wanted to be God. And Satan's evil, so it can never, ever, ever be God. You're agnostic and you lived an honest life. Right, but have you sinned? Be honest, Sophia. Have you sinned? And there's your answer. You have. There are people out there who don't know anything. We're talking about in the jungles and the tribes people. They don't know anything of any of this, right? Or most of them don't. They've started putting mobile phones into tribes and stuff now, aren't they? But most of them don't. They don't know any of this. God will decide with every one of us, right? Who did what and why and when. God decides. He's going to decide when it's the end. When all this stops and he says enough children have been put through this world of sin, this slavery, the laundering of the truth will come to an end. And we'll all know exactly where we stand, how we got here, and why it happened. It says we'll get a new heaven and a new earth. Well, I can't see how we get a new earth when this one's right here. I can only see it, the actual world itself changing, you know, the people in it, not nature and the fish, but none of that's going to change. Why would any of that need to change? It's perfect the way he created it. It's man that messed it up, right? Through our own, I don't know, egos, our own ignorance. This world burns up. He said he's going to make it rain fire. But he can make anything come out of the ashes, right? He can raise it to the ground and then build it straight back up. He's God. He only has to say so, Bible chick. Just the way he did in the beginning. Let there be trees and valleys and lowlands and highlands and pastures and cherry trees. Let it all be so. I do believe that when he said he corrected everything, when it was finished, it was perfect. That is the truth. Everything in this world was perfect. Satan screwed it up. You see, the heaven and the earth that we know can change. Whatever we've been told about it. According to that book, heaven is encrusted in gold and jasper and all this bollocks. It makes no sense to me, that doesn't. That really doesn't. That God would be interested in a gold palace when God's a spirit. Why would the spirit live in a solid place? It'd be, to me, it'd be ethereal. An ethereal world, heaven, where spirits move. I honestly don't know. I'm going to find out. I'm 53 years through living. I'll be lucky if I get another 22. But I'll spend whatever years I've got left singing God's name. Jesus had doubts about what? About the future generations. About the doubters. And then you've got to prove to me that Jesus did have doubts on the cross, haven't you? Why would the Messiah of all things have doubts on the cross? Sounds like Satan speaking to me. Satan couldn't touch him. Nothing could. He was the Son of God. Born into a man's body. I was round when Jesus Christ had his doubts. Da, da, da. Are you thinking about a song? About God. He had his doubts about God. I thought Jesus was God in the flesh. You see, the way I look at it is Satan's twisted everything in this world. And if you don't think he interfered with the good book, then you're surely mistaken. They've messed with everything. Which scriptures? Which scriptures do I need to study? Do I need to study King James? Do I need to study the Tinsdale Bible, which came before that, which mentions the flat earth? Do I need to study the Geneva Bible, which came before that? Should I read scriptures from the Ethiopian Bible, which came before that? I don't need to study anything. I need to look inside myself. That's what Jesus said. I didn't need a book. I didn't need a pastor. I didn't need a pope. I needed to look inside myself where the kingdom is to find him. So which Bible are we talking about? The Mormon Bible? The Seventh Day? Which Bible are we talking about? See, this is where people get, what's the word I'm looking for? Fucked up on the Bible and any scriptures where they want to argue this and they want to argue that. You see, that book was written. It's not the word of God being received directly to me. Sometimes when I read the words or hear the words out of that Bible and some people speak them words to me, I hear the word of God in those words. Yes, I do. But do I hear it all the way through? No, I don't. Why would God say the gold was good? That's a jeweler speaking. Why would Jesus say be good to your master? That's a slave trader talking. Why would Jesus say use a usury when he whipped the usuries? That's a banker talking. Why would God stop the sun and tell all the men, when God could do it himself, to go into a village, annihilate everything in it, including the animals, but save the young virgin girls? If there are any virgin girls, you can take them for yourselves. Again, that's a pedo talking. That's a nonce talking in the Bible. It's not God. God wouldn't say anything about virgin girls. Why would he promise you virgin girls for slaying people? When the first commandment is thou shalt not murder. And before you tell me it's thou shalt not kill, it's thou shalt not murder. If a murderer is going to come and kill me and my family, I'm not going to sit there and let it happen. I'm telling you now. Thou shalt not murder. I'm awake enough to see when someone's trying to control my mind. Jesus said, why do you forsake me, Father, right? Is that right? He didn't. He never did. He never forsakes any of us. I'd like to say he forsake the earth, but he didn't, because we're still here. You're telling me the deity that created all of this on his voice, on his word alone, he created all of this life and everything here, and all the laws of physics and chemistry and biology and everything else. He created all of it by his voice. You're telling me he's not loving, he's not caring, that he could just click his fingers and that's it. Gone. We're done. He wants mankind to learn something. A great lesson. For all people. I agree, Kyle. None of us can say anything about the past because we don't know what it is. All we can talk about is now, the present. And when you talk about the present, you've got to ask, how did we get here? And there's only one answer, and that is God Almighty. All glory goes to God. Even Jesus said this. All glory goes to God in the highest. So I learned a lot from the Bible. Many different types of Bible, I agree. I learned a lot from the book. I learned a lot from scriptures from all around the world, from the Holy Quran, from Vedic texts, from Buddha. There's great words in these scriptures. There's also a lot of hatred that shouldn't be there. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be there. Gold, virgins, all the rest of it. It almost seems like women were not included in these books to a certain extent. Like a male wrote it and a male only. And if you're going to give me the chauvinistic, men are greater than women. See, that's where we differ. Men and women might think differently, but both men and women can think equally the same. Strength-wise, physically, totally different, as we already know. But when it comes to the mind and feelings and thinkings, a woman can think just as well as a man. So why was the woman persecuted so badly throughout scriptures? Why was she lesser mentioned? Why is she hated upon? Why did she make the mistake with a snake first? My answer to that would be the Ray Comfort answer, which is Adam got to see the world created and the animals in it, and then he got to name everything in it. God let him name everything, apart from the seas and stuff that God named. He let him name everything else, and then he said, I've got no partner. Every animal's got a partner. Sleep, took a rib, created bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh, his soulmate. But they hate that, right? They hate that Adam and Eve story, that family that stays together and has loving children, blah, 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 blah. They hate that. That's not what they want. They want single parent families. They want only fan whores, and they want all this shite that ramming into children's brains. And I can see it now. That guy who goes around asking questions to people in England, just common folk, and they can't even answer simple questions. Like, what's the capital of Italy? They don't even know what the capital of Italy is. Just general knowledge stuff. Stuff that you should know. You know? And they've got no idea about anything anymore, because that's what education's about. It's about wiping away characteristics of a person. That thing that makes us all individual. That spark that's in you that isn't in them around you. That's what I'm talking about. That spark, that spirit, whatever it is that God wanted from you, they couldn't put that flame out. They couldn't erase it. They couldn't delete it. They couldn't brainwash it away from you. Talmud confirms intersex genitalia. The Talmud thinks that Jesus is burning in shit also, so I don't listen to any... Look, that book in particular, I couldn't give a rat's ass for. That book, I really couldn't give a rat's ass for. We're talking about the chosen people again, aren't we? What a load of tosh. I'll tell you who God's children are. They're the ones with a spark in them like you. They're God's children, not these idiots, self-proclaimed, I'm chosen bollocks. It's a bloodline. It's a royalty thing. No. No, it's not. No, this is a spiritual thing we're talking about. And if you don't believe in God and spirits and that, I can't be influenced spiritually by you, then you're going to have to explain love, romance, poetry, music. A lie to me influences me. Your words affect me spiritually. Just the same way God does. God affects me spiritually, and has done for the last 13 years since I discovered his existence. Well, there are no wars. There is no big C. Again, Sophia, you're just reading straight off their manifesto that you believe in wars, that you believe in the big C, you believe in AIDS, you believe in disease, dies easy. God didn't create disease, Satan did. You're about as awake and as moral as they are. If you haven't come to the understanding that God exists, if you haven't come to the understanding that you're living in a lie, that there are no diseases, that things like diabetes, multiple sclerosis, they're all given outwardly by these wankers, these chosen pharmacists, well, I can't help you. I come from a point of origin where God blessed me with the eternal thought to think for myself and question everything, including the Bible. I have questioned the Bible. I've questioned Jesus. I've questioned all of it. I'm still brought back to Jesus every time. I'm not brought back to any of the other scriptures, just to his words. He had the biggest effect on me. The only way through to the Father is through me. Through kindness, through mercy, through forgiveness, through loving. All the things that Jesus embellished daily with others around him, I try to do now myself. This includes talking truthfully and not bearing false witness. Bearing false witness could be anything. I believe in space. I bared false witness. I believe I'm descended from a monkey. I bared false witness. Just because they wrote about it doesn't mean it's real. I agree. And this also goes for the Bible. They wrote about God in it. Yeah. So he doesn't exist either. Well, how am I here? How are you here without God? Explain it. It's a miracle. Life is an absolute action-packed miracle that any of this is possible. That I grew up in a world where, depending on where I live, will depend upon the vegetables I get seasonally. Whether it be carrots, beetroots, parsnips. God designed all of this in different areas. You get pineapples in the Caribbean, mangoes and beautiful fruits. In the north, you get apples, pears, plums. They're still sweet, but they're not like the citrus taste of the Caribbean. He made it all different. And he made it all the same. And he made it all in 6 days. 6 days. He created all of this in 6 days. And you want me to believe that, of course, there are wars. Don't talk shite. There are disease. Get out my fucking chat, you troll. Beat it. Hey, butter. Get off my fucking channel. Can't stand them. They always have to repeat themselves, don't they? Right? There are diseases. No, there aren't. There are no diseases. Don't talk shite. There are no diseases. There are fungus. There are fungus and there are food poisonings, and that are it. That is it. There are no diseases. Don't even get me effing started. Excuse me language, but I just can't be arsed. Look, I've got friends out there that are special needs. We call them special needs. I've got people with children that are special needs. And I know the only reason that those children are that way are because of wankers like this and cunts like, oh my gosh, said the C word, excuse me, cunts like that in the chat that want to tell you that this stuff exists. None of it exists. It's in your head. None of it's real. They've created all of it for us. They have created all of it for us. Don't worry about Angela. I knew as soon as I saw the name Sophia, I knew what I was talking to. All right? They use the same names and the same patterns and they talk the same shit. That there is no God, there is no Christ. They just don't want you to go home. That's what they don't want. They don't want you to go home. They don't want you to be able to think for yourself. They just talk shit all the time. Excuse me, language again. I told you, my patience is just not with it today. It really isn't. I love God. You're not going to take Jesus away from me ever. I don't do it through a Bible. I don't do it through the book. I do it through myself. When something feels and resonates, it's the truth. It's God incarnate within you. Within you. It's God incarnate. And they'll tell lies to your face, just like that one did there. You'll be able to spot them. As soon as they start talking to you like that, you know it's a liar. It's not the same in real life, I agree, because you meet real people. Online, you're just talking to dickhead trolls. Trust me. Military-guided bollocks. Which is why I told you, think for yourself. That's what God gave you, the ability to change and think for yourself. These people don't want you to change. They don't want you. They want you to just stay the way you are. Have no faith. Well, mine was restored. My faith was restored in knowing that I'm not spinning. I knew in an instant that God created me. Don't ask me how. It was an internal gut instinct feeling. I was lifted into a heavenly dream. That's what it felt like when I realised he exists. He just lifted me up, even though I was emotionally wrecked, laughing and crying. He cradled me that night. He did. And he changed my life forever. Amen. And it was God and God only that I saw. Don't get me wrong. When I realised the earth was flat, I saw Jesus first. And then it was an instant. Just like he told me, God. Just like Jesus told me, God. And all my time has been invested in God ever since. I love Jesus. Don't even try and take him away from me. You can't. And they have tried. They've tried to take him away so many times from me. They've tried to disprove him so many times to me. I'm still here. I'm still loving God. As far as the truth goes, you've got to discover it. You've got to discover it for yourself. I can't hand it to you. I can show you what it looks like. I can present it to you. But it's up to you to accept it. It's up to you to accept that this world is an absolute lie, start to finish. From the moment you got here, they lied. Exactly. There is no disease. It dies easy, exactly. We die easy because we believe them. It all started with the Black Plague. The Black Plague's a load of bollocks, didn't exist. It's never come back. Because it never existed. It was spread by rats. It was airborne. It spread across the world. The whole world had it. Did it really? How did it stop? There was a fire in London. What? A fire in London stopped the plague worldwide. Explain. You can't, because it's nonsense. Every single one of these liars comes unstuck when you start to question their narrative. Samuel Pepys was a baker. He started a fire and it stopped the Black Plague. It just so happens, in the same fire, they burnt down most of London, including the Inland Revenue Services, the taxman's office, the record keeper's office. And on that same date, 666, they invented gravity. Newton invented gravity the same year there was a Black Plague and a fire in London. It's all tosh. There's nothing more enlightening to a living soul like me or you, a natural person, in knowing that God exists. There's nothing. There's no higher high. There's no drug on earth that comes even close to knowing that God exists. I've chased that high ever since. I've never been so high on truth alone. It was just words and feelings that lifted me. It didn't just lift me, it lifted me so high I was hysterical, to the point that my ribs were caving in and hurting. I had to stop. I was laughing so much that I found God, that I then began to cry in pain from the laughter of my own stupidity. So when I get dickheads come in my chat trying to tell me there is no God and you can get into heaven without knowing God, You might be able to if you come from a tribe of people that lived a normal, what I call a normal earth life. Nothing like ours. No TVs, no radios. They fish, they hunt, they feed each other, they love each other. Nothing like our lives. The most natural way a human can live within nature, with nature. Nothing like what we're living in, the way Satan's presented the world to us. Those people may be able to get into heaven without knowing. I can't even say that, because how do I know they don't know that God exists? Just because they haven't read the Bible doesn't mean they don't know that God's not here, that someone didn't create all of this. Even so, see, now I'm thinking that tribes people are stupid. To all the tribes people in the world, if you ever listen to this, I'm sorry for making that aspersion of you. Even a man who fishes every day and lives that life can have the recognition that someone created this world, that it didn't just come about by happenstance, by chance, which is what they want me to believe, that all of this is random chance. That evolution, I evolved from a one-cell organism which doubled into 2, then to 4, then to 8, then to 16, binary computer. You want me to believe in evolution from a one cell, right? So it evolved. What came first? When it started evolving, what did it evolve into first? An eyeball or a stomach? If it was an eyeball, how did it eat? Where's its mouth? Where's its stomach? If it was a stomach, how did it see its food? How did it catch its food? It's bollocks. All of these things have to come into existence at the same time. Again, you brought right back to creation and God. I've questioned a lot of things in this world, including myself. But if there's one thing I've learned through all of this last 13 years, is that you can't trust them. You can't trust them at all, because they lie. Natural people, we don't go out our way to lie to people. 13 years has taught me that they hate God. They hate Jesus. They hate all religion, but they particularly hate God and Jesus. And you can say, oh, what, God in the Bible? I'm just talking about God and Jesus. They hate God and Jesus. Movies open up with his name. When an explosion happens, they scream his name, Jesus Christ. When something shocking happens, they say, Jesus Christ. I never used his name so much. I never thought about him this much before. But that's what the devil wanted. Satan didn't want me to think about Jesus. And the blessing that was granted to all of us, that this world continues only because of him. Yeah, but Jesus ain't real. Why did he change the calendar then? After he died, why did they change the calendar? Why do we have Christmas? Why do we celebrate Palm Sunday? Because his memory was so great. That's the only reason I can come down, is that his memory in people's minds was so great. No matter what the flip-flops tried to do in the 2,000 years since he was here, they couldn't erase him. His memory lived on in people, in hearts, in mouths, in books, in history. And people, and we have the possibility to act like Jesus or act like Satan within us. That's the choice we have. That's the possibility of change. Because when someone is bad, Jesus said you can still be forgiven. But it takes a very strong-willed person to see God and accept the armor that he gives you in knowing that he's real. No faith needed. There's no faith in God. I don't have no faith. My faith is in Jesus Christ. God takes no faith whatsoever. I can see his work. I can feel him all around me. I can feel him inside of me. That day when I realized he existed, I could feel his presence and his glory and his power. So I don't take lightly to pricks like this who want to disrupt the way I feel, the way I think. And neither should you. April 1st. Well, you've only got 2 months after that, and we'll be in, if we're in the little season, it'll be the end of the shit show, won't it? July 4th. June 4th. What's yours? July 4th. July 4th. There's your big day. That's your 250 years is up on the little season. And if fuck all happens, then we're in Revelations, aren't we? We are truly in Revelations, not the little season. But I agree with a lot of the stuff, the buildings and everything, the glory that's there, that could have been the 1,000 years of Christ's reign. I do agree with you. I do. It could have been. But I just, like, you can't prove it's positive to me. I can't prove it's not to you. All I can do is go on what my gut instinct tells me, and that is that I'm living through Revelations. These things are being revealed to many people. And it changes. It changes you spiritually. It does. To a point where people can't stand your voice anymore. It's quite a blessing, really, because without all that interference from other people, you do get your peace and serenity of thought again, right? That you're not constantly arguing with someone in real life or online. You get a serenity back, a calmness that I can't even express it to you until you've seen the kingdom. And I do worry for the world, and I'm sure you do too, your friends, your family. I worry for them. I hope that it won't let you send messages. It will. I can see you. "13 months, 28 days. I can see you. They changed everything. Yeah, there was 13 months. I do believe you're right. 28 days. That would put every start of the month would be a Monday. Every finish of the month would be a Sunday. Women would know when they're going to menstruate, or as I like to call it, moonstrate, again, properly. They spoilt the rhythm of life, didn't they? They inverted the rhythm of life. To a point now that we have clinics where you can go and kill babies. And we're all alright with it. Jesus wept. And so did I. "Father, forgive me, for I have sinned." It never meant so much to me till the last 13 years. Right, I'm gonna go have a Rustler's burger. I'm gonna have a Rustler's. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday night live. Just remember, guys, God does love you. Otherwise, none of this would be happening, would it? It'd just be pissed off. It'd stop the world, and we'd all be in hell, moaning at each other. He wants you to know that you were born into an inside out, upside down, back to front, tipsy.